Welcome back, everybody, again into the single player world. Things are looking different. They're looking beautiful. That is because today is the shader day, which I think I mentioned a while ago, and I was like, let's do it. Let's go around. We've got a beautiful bit of outdoor area to look at and get these shaders going. You'll notice there's a few different pieces of this. You can see there's little pieces hanging off leaves. I've also gone ahead and altered a pack that is known and loved by many people, and I know you guys all know it, but if you guys do not, it is the Jansey Boy Better Leaves pack. In fact, I very often get confused because our names sound very similar. And of course, I don't take credit for the pack, but I take credit for changing these leaves colors. That's about it. That's all I did. I changed these colors, which were actually yellow, like a night. It's actually quite beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to stick to what I had created here, and I changed them over. That's about it. So, of course, you guys know where to find them. Description, if you want to get your hands on these textures, they are amazing. But it's only the leaves. I didn't change anything else. The rest is our standard sort of texture pack, and I just really wanted to show this area off. So, shaders, Soul doesn't have default shaders, the best shaders you can ever get. And, of course, here we are, a brand new little bit of a forest. And I want to take you guys through what I've been up to, because I've been loving this stuff, all right? I mean, getting to go around with shaders today is going to be awesome. It's such a change to the game, and for people who do not know what shaders are, shadows. Look at this. Look at this. If we zoom in there, see that? It's moving very slowly, very slowly. It actually is that cool in the game. If you guys do not know about them, that's a game changer, but I can't play with them forever. So we wouldn't be able to do every episode with them. My brain would probably just explode from the shaders. They get a bit much after about a few hours. So right here, I've built myself a brand new Birch Forest, and I'll show you guys with these without the textures. We'll actually have a little bit of time without them, just so I can show you what it looks like, because of course the fuzzy bits do make trees look so darn good. All right, but let's just have a little walk through. And by the way, if you guys don't know why we're hearing noises of mobs, I don't know either. It's just the case. Some people have said maybe there are mobs nearby. There is nothing. Like, these things are just bugged. They just totally bugged out. But let's go. F1 off. Let's do that there. That is F1, the key, by the way. I realize how horrible I sound. But, oh, it's not actually very, very bright, and there's not a lot of sun, but just, it feels so good. Like, see those shadows on the ground? How good are they? I just love this. The shaders, everything. Picture when we carry on with this forest, going out all the way in this way. More forest, more trees, more things to look at. In fact, we got some buildings coming up as well. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool. In fact, I'm almost surprised, but the way that it looks a bit better, and also, by the way, those are some future planned builds. The way that I built this was mostly facing from that direction to this direction, but walking backwards looks so much better, and I don't know why. Maybe the trick is for me to not do anything with it. But there we go. That is those shaders. For now, of course, that is that part. I want to show you guys these trees, and I think we'll just do it next time we come back, because I've got some plans, and I want to talk about our plans because they're very important. So story time. This over here was the old entrance to the prison of this little island. And what has quite clearly happened is the bridge has been destroyed. Look at that. The bridge is totally, it doesn't exist anymore. That's it. I don't know, it's totally gone. And what that story is obviously there was a whole bunch of fighting. Maybe someone escaped. I don't know. But what I want to do now is continue the path that would have been going across here, because it didn't just go a bridge into a big thing and then stop. We're going to clear these off. We're going to make a beautiful little path going through here. And I think it will be rather cool to take a piece of that path and curve it through these trees and have this area underneath, which is a very requested area to build in over here. This little area underneath, its own little biome branching off from that there. Of course, this is not very pretty yet. There is time, and we will do some cool things. That's the idea with that there. I also want to do a quick little map update, because the map is something that we always look at, and we haven't done that in a little bit. So right now we are standing right around there. You can see it's pretty obvious. The bed over there. And over here, this is now a big birch forest, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm thinking I might have got the right thing for these trees. I was told that birch trees, Jansey, you can't do birch trees. They'll never work. I said no. I will figure it out, and I think I figured them out. I really do. So what we'll do, let's catch a good night's rest. I don't think it's quite dark enough. It does fool you with these shaders. We'll catch a good night's rest, switch these shaders off, and I want to take you through these trees, because as I say, I might be on the brink of something cool with these trees. I know we're close. Right, back to normal now, and this is what they are looking like. So obviously, it just, everything looks so uninteresting after you've had shaders on it. They're just not quite as impressive. Those shaders are amazing things. They're magical. They really do. They change your whole world so much. But here we go. This is what the trees are actually looking like in the way that we usually play. And that is, of course, a bit better than your average birch. I tried it with these over here. I tried to do these trees a few episodes ago, and I thought we had them. I thought they looked cool, because in my mind, birch just wasn't something that could look good. I just had not got it right. And then I was messing around with these, making them a bit bushier, a bit thicker, and I think that this over here actually works. Are these guys actually chirping? Now you stop. Yeah, thank you. Okay, maybe they've fixed themselves in the past few seconds. But over here, these ones are a lot more fluffy, a lot more bushier, but I've managed to make them spread out enough. So in other words, leave a few leaves out and I can't quite explain how I've done it, because I've tried this before and I haven't got it right, but I found my trick to it, and I think I've got a few. Yeah, we can do a little bit of a tree to show you guys what, at least the way that it's not the product necessarily, but the way I get to the product of the tree that matters. So I've been going up for a little bit, and then instead of me just doing a big long trunk of the tree and then putting leaves on the outside, I've been doing it piece by piece like this. So instead of going all at once, I do a little bit like that, a little bit here, and then just go around these ways, around like that, for instance, and then go up. And for some reason, this lends itself towards a lot better looking tree, and I can't explain it. It's just the way it happens, and it's good that I figured it out, that at least that works for me. But I don't know, maybe I'm onto something here. But that's pretty much, oh yeah, and then you have to, of course, break your ankles a little bit once or twice. But look at that. That's the way it starts off, and then in a few minutes, probably like 5-10 minutes, we've got ourselves a huge tree, and I could really use this. And an important part about this, in fact, actually, when I say I could really use this, is to build these big forests. These trees here, sure, do take a long time to build per tree. I mean, probably 15, 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, depends on the tree. Sometimes you just make some mistakes and they don't quite work too well. So we have to develop a way of making trees that is able to be done to look good and go quick enough to be able to build forests quite the size that we need them. Just looking, okay, those are obviously my end chests. I just need to get some of this, some of those, these, and maybe some of them, and we can make ourselves our pathway to that little, well, from this area really. But pretty much, as I say, the main part is getting something that looks good and also is effective to build. Because of course, imagine if every tree was like a 50 block tall tree that you had looking amazing, of course, putting in all that effort, but really it doesn't end up being worth it, because you only get 2 trees done in a few days, which is exactly the problem that I think I've run into many times with building trees and doing stuff along those lines, is you just end up having them all there, but you've pretty much burnt out on tree building. You know, I've been building in this area now quite a little bit. I just put a few more trees in. You can see it's starting to take shape around this side. It's a path. There's a lot that's going on here. But what I've noticed, just having the shaders, it reminds me of when I played a pack back in the day. It was awesome. It was called Life in the Woods Renaissance. Many of you guys may know it. It's a mod pack, but it's pretty much just about being outdoors and being in like a pretty Minecraft world. One of the things that they did use was shaders, actually by the same person who makes these shaders, but not these particular shaders were the ones that they were using. They were using some others. But this over here, just having the occasional chirps from some of these around here. Don't know if you'll even hear them, except for those mob noises. Every now and then, there's actually a pretty sweet little chirp from the parrots. If I could get parrots around the place, just to have like a little bit of a chirp and then carry on as you walk through this place, it would look awesome and sound awesome. Like the whole thing would just feel pretty authentic. So coming around here, I'll show you what's going on, what needs to be done. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Hopefully we can get a lot done, but I don't think we'll get all of it done this episode. It's a large project. This whole project's actually quite a large project. I've kind of bitten off quite a lot for this, but it's definitely not too much. We can get through it. So jumping over the bridge, you can see that this area here looks a little bit bare. I've flattened it a bit. taken it to another level with a bit of a path. So we've got some structure, cleared the trees out. But what we're going to do is I'm probably going to add in a few more of these and merge in some oak trees just so that it starts working together with that forest. So it's sort of a birch forest, just a bit more dense with birch down here. And I'll fix those other birch trees up there, and we'll see how that eventually turns out. So carrying on down the path, I've just added a few little bits and pieces, and we arrive at the future cavern entrance or cave entrance. And I'm actually curious what ideas you guys may have for this, because I'm in 2 months. I'm really thinking a cool little bit of a mushroom biome as we go further in here would be pretty awesome, but I'm not 100% certain on that. So I'll tell you what my idea is. As we go through here, I'm planning on making a path that's going to lead all the way to the other side of this mountain. So as if there were 2 paths leading out, one over here and one that goes underneath and comes out in another space. One would be the dangerous path, which is the one we are building now. Back in the day, of course, when this operated, this would be the standard sort of path. I'm thinking that. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have to work it out as we go. But we've got this whole area here, and I'm guessing that this would probably be a good area to just cover up with a whole bunch of dirt, like a ridiculous amount of dirt. In fact, do we have a colorful block? I think, does redstone dust? I think maybe, let me just test this out. We're going to see where this is on the map, because this may very well be the center of the island. And if we could just make a marker, that would be wonderful, but I'm not 100% certain that that is the case. So let's just go here. This would be the middle, and we'll go ahead, grab our maps. All right, so we've brought the map with us over here, and right around now here, this is like the middle map. I'm guessing that the center of this whole place is probably just around here, which means this changes a few things, because in my mind, this island it's just massive. I'll go back to the map a bit later, and you guys should have a look at this island. Obviously, if you guys are new to the series, what I'm planning to do is to fill this whole island up with stuff, and it's pretty darn huge. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna put this in here, and this, another one around here. But it seems like something that feels really, really large, in fact, isn't quite as large. Also, by the way, the last little bit, what you would have noticed, some of you guys would have probably noticed that the frames were slightly lower, like as in my recording looked a little bit jumpier. If it does, do not worry, I fixed it, I think, but I've had to turn the render quality down, and I'm pretty sure that was just the problem. For some reason, I probably have to just restart my computer or something. It sometimes happens like that, and sometimes it's perfectly fine. Who knows? It's probably just a Windows update or something waiting to get pushed through. So fear not. I do realize there's weird marks on the blocks. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It won't be too bad when we go back the other side. So right around here, map updated, X over there, head over to our normal map, and a bam, like that. All right, that is actually, I got pretty close. I just need to move a little bit more west, probably like 2 trees over. You can almost see. There's one tree. That tree there is pretty much the center of the map, which is fantastic. Look at this. Like, you can see that's where we are now. I've just traveled that distance. This is where we've built all this stuff. Actually, can this get updated? That should be updated. There we go. Obviously, we're going to keep pushing more and more forests in here, but that over there is pretty darn cool. In fact, if we could make this mushroom island or mushroom biome go under here, for instance, and then have our future castle or something along those lines in here, that would be pretty cool. So I'm actually thinking very differently to the way I originally thought about this area, about how far we still had to travel. So what I might do is we might, oops, it was like that when I got here. What we might do is we might start moving around this way and that way before we get to the center, because this is going to be a pretty big build. I was planning on seeing it from a distance, so we might have to go up a lot more than what I was guessing. But that's actually, I'm getting distracted because this isn't the project for today. Today I actually want to make some stuff, but right around here, yeah, if we could see it poking out the top there somehow, that would be wonderful. I've also gone ahead and turned my render distance down, so things should be a bit smoother right now. You know, these shaders, they're beautiful, but they are troubling. So what I'm gonna do is let's go have a good night's rest. You can see the sun's going down. It's important for some good, healthy building, and then we're gonna get ready. We've got some materials, I've got stuff to build, and it's gonna look good. We're gonna get a brand new entrance, or an entrance to the unmade cave done. All right, I've got a little bit of a cave dug out here, and I don't want to go too far with it because we've got some plans, and the plans are we want to create an interesting gateway that would have been used, like an entrance to the cave that seems to be built by some humans that would have done it. And then we'll walk through it, obviously going through into the whole different biomes. Ignore the ugliness now. This could be a whole different thing tomorrow. You know, we're not going to worry too much about that, but we're going to worry about the build at hand. And that is currently to be building our first entrance to this thing. It might have many more on other sides, but I'm going to try and get some sort of style, some sort of color in here, and we're going to have to work it out as we go. I thought just a simple oak log would be good, and then we could work our way through. So what I'm thinking, okay, I'll just wait there. But what I'm thinking is we build it up, get this nice little entrance. It doesn't have to look like it's part of the nature. It can't. It's very, in my mind, it should be looking like it's not part of the nature. And we're going to be building the ground to come over the top of it, as if the mountains, it's holding up this bit of land, and also that the grass has grown over it over time. So that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm thinking we could just go up on the sides here, and we'll work our way up and see where we'd like to put these. So if we go there, diagonals are easier than going in weird numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll go with these over here. I think that'll be good. And I went through from there. Perfect. All right. So we'll do something like this. However, I don't want to remove that tree, so I'll have to work it out a little bit. I'm just kind of thinking of a few different ideas. Things I want to definitely put in as a rule. I want to get in the dark prismarine because I plan on using that in the future castle area that we were talking about. The other thing that I want to get in is probably some brick of sorts, just the normal brick, not stone brick. I'm talking about real deal brick here. We're not cutting any corners. We're doing the whole thing, and that's going to be kind of interesting because it's not always the prettiest of blocks. It has been upgraded, but not so much. So I'm going to try and get that in, and also get some lanterns, being some glowstone or redstone lamps in there as well. So we'll get to some planning. I'll see what we can come up with. All right, I've got some idea of how we're going to be doing this, and I've moved things around. I've kind of planned them out. We have to push that a little bit back, but I was thinking something very simple. It doesn't have to be too complicated because I don't want to have too much space up here that has to be taken care of. Something like this, we can maybe put in some stuff around like here. And then we're going to try and merge in the roof. As I say, we had that tower, which is over there, that one. I want to try and get something like that, but using, instead of those dark oak blocks, I want to get some of that dark prismarine in here and see if we can maybe get that to work for us. I think we can. I have a feeling that we can, and we may as well give it a go. So if we could just get like a small roof along these lines, just like this, maybe. And then we can work it up and then build a piece across and have two little lamps like this, these lantern things, just sitting there. Also, you know what? There's something, it never used to bug me, but it's been bugging me so much. You see how that's got a different texture when it's on versus when it's off? Not only does it give light, but it actually has like a completely different texture. I'm not a big fan of that. I'll be completely honest. It kind of bugs me, so I might just make that a daylight censored one. Maybe put a daylight sensor in like at the back here or something, because we couldn't put it in there. Just so it switches off and on all the time. Okay, that looks pretty bad. We can fix it. We can fix this. It looks like, actually, this is something I see all the time. It looks like it's got a bad haircut. That's what it looks like. So let's do something like that, and then we'll put another one in there, and another one right around here. And don't click on the wood because that doesn't end well. There we go. Let's see, does this look like it's, yeah, that looks a little bit better. Yeah, you know what? That is it. It's simple. It's beautiful. It's simple. That's what we needed. I was just thinking of, I want to just try keeping these simple, and I think that definitely falls into the simple category. So there we go. And let's take a little step back. A little bit of color, perfect. Add it in on this side, and then we put a little piece across, and then we can have that holding up the roof. That is actually very, very cool. I'm actually very, very happy with that. Simple stuff for simple minds, I guess. But let's go over here. We go probably like, you know what? I'll count it out. I'll put it up. You guys know what's going on. I'll build another one. Adding in a few finishing touches, and this should be complete. So we've gone ahead, made the whole hill over here, the hillside, kind of merge in. It'll obviously take some time for the grass to come over, but there we go. That's the plan. That's the plan. Very simple, very effective, does the trick, and it looks quite cool, I think. Just despite those down lights. But anyway, that's fine. That's not a big deal. Of course, what is important is what's to come down here. Very, very cool stuff. But either way, that's us for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of a, I guess it's gimmicky with the shaders, a little bit something different to what we normally do, but hey, I enjoyed it. It does feel different despite being a normal episode. It's very cool. So of course, let me know if you guys enjoyed them. Let me know what you guys think about these leaves. They've been growing on me quite a lot through this episode, and it's gonna feel horrible to lose them, but of course, you guys let me know about that, all right? But either way, I'll see you guys in the next one, and thank you so much for joining us.